All right, all right. You know what that sound means? It's time for the fabulous 4 plus 1 more. This is when I give you four of the hottest takes, four of the hottest joints in the land that is the United States, and then I'm gonna give you one more. And I've already kind of let the cat out the bag. It's gonna be about the gas stove. I think that rhymed a little bit. One more gas stove. Anyway, I guess in hip hop terms, it rhymes. Nonetheless, first up, NHL news. Now, I went on a whole diatribe last week about the NHL's Nashville Predators. And honestly, that whole diatribe got summed up after the show by Sir Troy Donaldson. And he basically said, they just need to stop the puck. They just need to stop the puck. Troy summed up my whole 3 minutes with seven words. Thanks, Troy. But that's true, and it hadn't got any better. The Predators are 11th place in the Western Conference, 6-3-1 in the last 10, and it doesn't get any better. They got Columbus, St. Louis, and LA coming up this week. All right, we got a very special NFL-ish sign of the times. Of course, later on in the show, we're going to get into all the scores and results from the past Super Wild Card weekend and the upcoming weekend's predictions. But this week's sign of the time is about greed. That's the title. Greed. And it was in some way inspired by Tom Brady. So you'll definitely want to make sure you're around for that. Next up, Fisk University gymnastics team. If that doesn't sound familiar, it's because it's not. Because it's the first ever HBCU gymnastics team ever. You can't say ever enough with this. It's the first ever HBCU gymnastics team ever. Yeah, I'm from the redundancy department of redundancy. Nonetheless, those gals went down to the University of Georgia at Athens meet this past week, and they came in fourth out of 4 teams, UGA, Rutgers, and Ohio State, but all of those are established programs, and this is not. So the first thing that the Fisk University did was they hired a coach. Monday's match was a homecoming for Fisk University head coach Corrine Carver. The first ever HBCU gymnastics coach is a UGA legend who became the first black gymnast in school history, then went on to become the first African-American to win an NCAA all-around championship. And that was courtesy of HBCUGameDay.com. Big shouts out to Fisk University and that's big. You don't get a whole lot of first in as far as HBCUs because most of them have been around over 100 years. So for that to happen, big deal right there. And I'm going to tell y'all like this. I saw some clips and highlights of it. They not no slouch now. Don't think that just because they came in fourth, okay, they missing flips and not sticking landings and nah. They nice with it out there. Big shouts out to Fisk University. And coming up on the entertainment report, we got more news with Diddy. Diddy is in the news again, not because of anything dealing with his personal life per se, but in dealing with his monetary gain. Is he going to sell off his catalog? I didn't know he was selling it all, but apparently people have been inquiring about it. Number 4, the NBA on the fabulous 4 plus 1 more. All right, we're going to start with the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks are 9th in the East, 22-22. Trae Young is leading the team with 27.4 per game and 8 assists. John Collins is leading the defensive-minded Atlanta Hawks in rebounds and blocks. Now, I will say this. The 22-22 Atlanta Hawks, it don't get no easier because they got Dallas and New York coming up next. Both teams are in the current top 6 of the playoff team. So this means they wouldn't have to do any play-ins or anything like that. So it's going to be real tough for the Atlanta Hawks in the next 2 games. After them, we got the LA Lakers. The Lakers are 13th in the West, 24-24. But 5 through 13, and the Lakers are 13th in the West right now. But 5 through 13 is only a 2-game difference. So what that means is LeBron James is not a rookie. Go ahead and book him for the playoffs or whatever Yo Gotti said. But one fan did call for Russell Westbrook to be arrested for not getting a foul shot off versus the 76ers in the late seconds of the game. When I say it was hilarious, it was hilarious. Make sure you go to facebook.com/Surround Sound Podcast. Scroll down and you'll be able to catch that article. Next up, the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors are 22-22. Also, they're 7th in the West. Now, the Golden State Warriors are still celebrating their championship. They were able to go to the White House this past week. Steph said thank you to President Biden for getting Brittany Griner out of Russia. And the team did the ceremonious presentation of jerseys. Joe Biden's jersey was number 46 and Kamala Harris's jersey was number 1. For everyone that is on socials, yeah, I'm about to talk about Grind City, but you're going to have to go and download the show from all reputable podcasting platforms. We'll see y'all in a minute.